Text messages of the day coming up at 6:45, or excuse me, 6:55, 7:55, 8:55. And then, Dave, I've just commandeered the rest of the program, and we will take telephone calls in the 9 o'clock hour. After we talk to Governor Gilmore, I'm going to open up the phone lines once again, and we'll go till the top of the hour. I've just decided that. Well, you were gone. I made a high-level executive decision without our executive producer running down the hallway with scissors. We now take telephone calls on the 9 o'clock hour.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but you need to look at your rundown again because we have a guest at 9:35. You even mentioned her.
Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Megan's done, we kick her out and we take telephone calls. See, this is the high-level executive decisions that we first text message of the morning. Hey, Rich, please stop broadcasting my DMV. All of a sudden, all the unwatched masses will start running down to Ashland. Okay. I can't even say it with the straight face that Ashland DMV is awful because they're not. They're awesome.
No, they're fantastic.
But all of a sudden now the lines are going to be out the window, out the door.
Yeah, but when I have to go and do it all again next year, I'm going to have to find a new DMV.
Look at all these people from Richmond coming out here to Ashland. All right, let's get to Richmond's morning news brief. This morning on Thursday, June 11th, the year of our Lord 2026. Here's what's going on. Here's everything you need to know. Big story of the morning, of course, the U.S. re-engaging actively with airstrikes in Iran. Here's an update from Fox News.
Number 1.
Iranian strikes targeted locations in Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, all countries with a U.S. military presence. Kuwait condemned what it called sinful aggressions from Iran. This followed the United States going after Iranian military surveillance capabilities, communication systems, and air defense. Central Command describing the strikes as self-defense. War Secretary Pete Hegseth says they're part of making sure President Trump gets the deal he expects. Reuters reports Qatari negotiators left Iran this morning after talks that ran into the early hours. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
I was watching Fox News yesterday. I was watching Newsmax, CNN, watched the CBS Evening News. Ugh. Anyway, Brent Hume had something very interesting that he said, you realize Donald Trump might be having two different conversations with two different people, telling the world a couple things. So yesterday, let the cat out of the bag, that the U.S. has been ferrying ships through the Strait of Hormuz at night. 100 ships have gone through. Hundreds of millions of barrels of oil have gone through. That's why the price of oil is down to $85. Now, a lot of people are like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you letting the cat out of the bag? Again, all this is negotiation. All this is 3D chess. He lets the Iranians know that he knows that they really don't control the Strait of Hormuz. What did he do? Just took that card away from them. Just took that piece off of the table. Now, what are they doing? As they start to bomb, not infrastructure, but military assets that they've been able to rebuild, reconstitute over the last 2 months of this ceasefire. He's telling them, listen, we're going to go wipe out your command and control. And then when we decide, we will bomb you and we will put you, what's the right word? He used the word I can't use on the radio. You're going to mess around and find out. You're about to find out. They call these defensive strikes. Pete Hegseth, again, all of this is coordinated. None of this is just people shooting off the hip. He says, we will negotiate with bombs. That's right there telling Tehran, okay, you waited too long. You messed up. Add all of that. Think of this. There's an Iranian intelligence agency that's taking all of this, putting a report together in very stark terms for the mullahs, for the Ayatollah, for the IRGC. Here's what's coming if we don't capitulate. Now, whether those dead enders, those people, the theocrats, will listen is another thing, but that's what's happening in the latest with Iran. All right, number 2, everybody buzzing about this incredible comeback yesterday by the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals in Madison Square Garden.
Number 2.
Nobody guarding the inbound pass. Brunson gets it, fires up a 3. Shot no good. The tip, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. With 1.2 remaining, Knicks take the lead. And it's 107-106. Bedlam here at the Garden. They can't believe it. That's it. It's over. The greatest comeback in NBA playoff history. The Knicks pull off the miracle comeback and lead it 3-1. Now 1 win away from a title.
Courtesy ABC, the Knicks were down by 29 points. They come back to win 107-106. on that tip-in, and New York's going crazy. That was our second big story of the morning. Third big story of the morning has to do with the Virginia Supreme Court.
Number 3.
All right, the people of the General Assembly passed all kinds of rules, laws, and the governor signed so much into action, it's hard to see where everything is. A lot of these had to do with new bans on certain guns, AR-15s, etc. Well, there's a bunch of different lawsuits that have been filed all over the state, and of course, our very, very capable Attorney General, Jay Jones, says, well, I don't know if we want to go ahead and have court cases about all of these because they kind of seem the same. So let's just make sure we put them all in one lawsuit. So right now, the Virginia Supreme Court has decided to put a three-judge panel together to see if they can take all of these lawsuits from different places by different plaintiffs and boil them down to one main lawsuit for Jay Jones to defend against. We'll see what happens over there. Some have Second Amendment arguments. They're all different arguments, but basically Jay Jones is just trying to have one court case that he can fight a mega case versus people that are fighting for their Second Amendment rights. That's our third big story of the moment. All right, we'll get some more big stories for you as well a little bit later in the program. But we will talk about these lawsuits. Also,
A+ windows.
can I bring this back up? There's one story. I got to carry this over, Super Dave, because I'm way over time. It's 6:14 this morning here on News Radio WRV. There was a story. We'll come back with this story. There was a pilot, or at least we thought he was a pilot, flew for over a decade, never had a pilot's license. He was fake. We'll talk about that coming up here on the program on Richmond's Morning News. All right. It is 6:14 this morning on the Voice of Virginia, News Radio WRVA. Hey, let me remind you, today's program is brought to you in part by A+ Windows. It's stressful. Like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to find a window? Everybody and their brother wants to sell me a window.